Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. My name is Jade, and this is How to App on iOS. And today, we're taking a look at Cem Olcay's Muse Bud.
Muse Bud, you say? Yeah.
So, get out your Muse, and let's get out your Bud, and let's bring them together, and let's have some Muse Bud. We're going to do it right about now. Hello, welcome to the show. Hope you're all doing good. Yes, we're ready to go and look at some cool apps today. Well, one app in particular, MuseBud by Cem Olcay. Yes, the green screen's back, the background's back. We're only going to have like the big widescreen thing for special occasions as it stands right now. Who am I? I'm Jade. And welcome to the show, and welcome to our Wart Warriors. You can become a Wart Warrior by clicking the join button down below if you're on a desktop, or the link that maybe Thomas will put in the chat. I'm preempting it because Thomas is amazing. Or there's a link down in the description, and you can, for $1 a month, become a solid gold rocker. I mean, no, a Wart Warrior. What is happening, Thomas? Oh, dear. Is everybody well? Is everybody well? It's Tuesday here in Australia, Monday for the rest of you. I hope the start of your week is good. I hope you don't end up getting a droop. Speaking of which, hello, Ivan Idea. What's going on? Good to see you. Thomas, thanks for putting that in there. Kim Hudson's here. Ivan Idea is here. Thomas Christ is here. The Lily Pillies is here as well. Manny from the Lily Pillies, who has a premiere coming up at some stage, I do believe, where they did a live gig. Manny, while you're here, right? While you're here, did I not say in 2023 or 2024, you will become a live touring band, and you are a live touring band now. I love being right. Jenny Jolivet, what show am I on? I know, you're on this show, my show, our show, the show of all shows. What am I talking about? I'm talking about this person here, Leela, who just had a fantastic premiere over on her channel and showed us all how to make music for about an hour and a half before. Indeed, like she does every week before this show, 3 days a week. Leela opens for this show, and you should go over and check that out. Thank you, Manny. Thank you. All right. Glad we got that sorted out. All right, let's see, who else have I missed who I haven't said hello to? Oh, this guy. Audible Video, whoever he is, Kim Hudson, Gregory O'Sullivan. Gregory, I sound like a drunk when I say that. Greg O'Sullivan. Mundulator, hello. Lux, hello to you. I think I've got most of you. I think I've covered everybody. Got Jenny in there as well. Awesome. Let's cover some stuff and things. Now, today, it's Tuesday here. I normally leave straight after this show and go on my walk and film for the walk episode. Unfortunately, today, it is not good weather. It is raining. Poor old Queensland here in Australia is flooded, completely flooded. It is one of the biggest floods that have happened in Australia. It's summer here and it's flooded. 2 meters of water, just unbelievable scenes here in Australia. So I can't do the walk today, but apparently tomorrow the sun will be out and we'll be up to 21 degrees. So I'll be doing it a day later and filming a day later, which doesn't give me much time to do editing and stuff for the weekend, but we'll have the show out. And it's going to be a nice one. We're going into a place called Fitzroy and Parliament House, and we're doing the tram network through Melbourne. So you'll love it. Hello, Rebel Rocker. Thanks for joining us and offering to share the show out. All right, let's get to news and such and things. The first bit of news is I have something coming in the Fed Express at the moment, which I'm very excited about. I've been waiting for one of these for about 10 months. And I'm finally getting one. IK Multimedia have sent me a Tonex pedal, and it should be here tomorrow, I think, or the day after. Very excited. So you can expect to see my honest opinion of the Tonex pedal finally next week. Now, I know the thing's been out for a very, very long time, but that doesn't matter. because I've been waiting to review this. So that will be happening next week. It's going to be sick. All right, over to thebeatcommunity.com. What's new? Let's hit refresh and make sure what's going on, because there's been some releases. Merzine by Iceworks is on offer. Calum Audio's Dustbin is free for a limited time, so if you want to grab that. Dawnbeat in-app purchase has been discounted. We covered Dawnbeat here on the channel. FabFilter have put their apps on sale as well. GeoShred's got in-app purchases on sale, so if you want to grab those, I think it's Swam and Nada instruments are all on sale. If you've got GeoShred and you want to jump in and have a look, they're all on sale. Steinberg's Dorico 5 is on sale. Imaginando's got a price drop for their stuff for a limited time. Steinberg released a whole bunch of instruments yesterday for Cubasis, which I will be looking at on Friday. And boy, are there some wicked instruments in there. It is just incredible. Four Pockets updated Wave Cloud Granular, which we'll be looking at tomorrow. Okay, so we'll be taking a look at this tomorrow. Very exciting. Pure Synth, lots of stuff on sale. You would just think we got out of Black Friday. We did, didn't we? And there's all these great sales. You know why? This happens every year. Everybody rushes to buy all the Black Friday things, and then 3 weeks later, not even, Christmas sales. That's the cycle. So, Dustbin, FabFilter, Timeless, Volcano, Saturn, Pro Q3, Pro G, Pro MB, L2. Looks like all FabFilter apps, or most of them, are on sale. Good stuffity doodah. BAM is on sale as well, which we reviewed recently. Frames, K7D, really nice tap delay. Neo Soul Keys is on sale, and Basalicious. And I think the in-app purchases are on sale as well. Hello, Ed B. Metal. And there is Pookie. Hi, Pookie. Just checking, I've got you all still. Anyone else hasn't come in? So, those Cubasis instruments are killer. They are really good. They're really good, especially one of them. One of them's really, really good. But we'll look at that on Friday, and we'll run through all the instruments on Friday. Boom. Muse Bud is what we're looking at today. Cem Olcay. Most of you will know Cem. I've interviewed him here on the show. He makes these great generative apps, and this one's no different. Took me a little while to get my head around this one, and I'm going to try and explain it as best as I can. It is $4.99. It's not a sale price. That's just the price it's going to be. So Cem's apps are always very, very cheap. And yeah, shall we dive over to the thing? And so yeah, last night I just ran out of time to make a project. So I had to get up early this morning and make one. So it's not amazing, but we're going to play it, aren't we? Let's shut myself up. I'm going to mute this track here. So we got 4 of these here. We've got 4 Muse Buds, and we've got a Brain Bud controlling the scale and the key. So when I change the key of Brain Bud, it changes all of the Muse Buds. That's the beautiful thing about Cem's apps. You can chain them all together and create some really interesting things. So let's hit play and get Muse Bud making some noise, shall we? Boom. right, fun, fun, fun. So before we jump out of this project and start showing you how this works, let me give you a little bit of advice. This app here has recently been updated. I did a show on this many, many moons ago called Fretless Guitar. It's a fantastic app, but for the longest time it wasn't AUV3, but now it's been recently updated to be AUV3. Just a word of warning to anybody who uses a Magic Keyboard. You may come across an issue. So it seems like, from my experience, that any app that didn't used to be AUV3 and gets updated to AUV3 has a problem with the Magic Keyboard. There's 2 apps now that this is affecting, and this one, unfortunately, is affected by it too. Let me show you what I mean before we jump out. I'm going to send a bug report over this, see if we can get it fixed. If I remove this fretless guitar and try and add it back, watch what happens. It does not load. No matter what I do, I hit reload, it will not load. It just won't. But watch this. If I go over here and remove it from my Magic Keyboard and now hit reload, it loads. And then I can put it back on my Magic Keyboard. Yes, it is a strange bug. I've only seen it with another app. The Magic Keyboard affects the app loading. It does it. This also happens with the bass. What's that bass app called? I can't think of what it's called. Jeez, Brain. Come on, Brain. With iBassist. So when you load iBassist and you try and put in a bass track in there and it's attached to the Magic Keyboard, the bass track gets all screwed up. Let me show you what I mean. I've soloed this. Let's go in here. Let's create a track. Pop 3, right? Hit play. That should be playing something not like that. Right, but as soon as I take it off the Magic Keyboard, now it's playing fine. Put it back on. It's all fucked up again. It's a weird thing. I don't know if it's iOS, the latest iOS related, but it's a bizarre thing. So it only affects 2 apps as I know. So there's that anyway. And the creator of iBassist is desperately trying to find out how to get it fixed. Still hasn't found an answer yet. So hopefully we can get it fixed for the other one. Anyway, back to what we're doing. So if we want to use this app today, MuseBud, it is a MIDI generator. It does not make sound. It sends MIDI notes. That is its purpose. So just so you know that, if you buy this and you're like, hang on a minute, why is it not making any sound? It only creates MIDI notes. Okay. So we're going to put it in a MIDI track to kick off. We're going to just create an audio track to send the MIDI notes to. So over here in MIDI processors, we're going to load up MuseBud. There it is. And we're going to put in an instrument. So we're just going to keep it simple so we can show you how this works with a piano. Always the best way to go, simple piano. Just want to get it working. Data, not audio. Yes, indeed. So we're now going to send the data from this to, let me just fix this. One sec, guys. I don't need this camera today. So you may see some popping in my microphone. I thought it was the lead yesterday. It's actually not. It's actually, I'm getting an overload from one of my cameras. But I'll sort that out over the next day. So now we're going to send anything that's created in MuseBud over to Piano Tech. Okay. So let's set all this at 0 before we do anything. I'm going to go down here and hit 0 for all of these little options, right? Because I just don't want it to start. I want to give you a good understanding of how this works, and hopefully I can explain this well. Because I've only seen a couple of videos out and nobody's really explained how this works yet. All right. So down this, hi Tremor Bear, down the side here of this app we have a bunch of modes: note, octave, duration, velocity, gate, ratchet, and a looper. So there is a built-in looper into this, which is very, very fascinating what you can do. It just, you know what? I wish Cem added the looper into all of his apps now. I want the looper in all of them. It's very nice. So here we have in front of us, this is a little bit different than Cem's normal apps, and they're always different from each other. What you see here in the note is all the notes in the particular scale you choose, plus a rest. So you can see across the top, we've got rest, C, D, E, F, G, A, B. So we are clearly in a C major. So if we change this to a C minor scale, right, we're all good. Let's go to let's try an F and hit done and hit done. All those notes change along the top there. So now we have all the notes in the F minor. Was I in the F minor? Yes, F minor scale. So now you can see all those there, and we've got a rest, we've got an F, G, we've got all our notes, right? So how this works is you decide how much of a chance you want each of the notes in the scale to play. So we're just starting off with this. So if I just want, I want to give the G an 86% chance, I want to give the C 100% chance, and I want to give a rest, say about 50% chance. So now if I hit play, so we're giving all these notes a chance to play in the sequence. We can decide which octave we want this to play in. So I'm going to give 100% to 3 and say a 50% to the 4th octave. And now this will start kicking in a second, and we'll start to hear notes being played between these 2 octaves. So anything that's getting played that's outside of those won't get played because they have a 0 chance of playing. Right? When a column is set to 0, it's not going to play anything. So if we add in a few more columns here of our notes, and even if we just bring in all these notes here, you'll start to notice we'll get more things playing. But we're getting now complete randomization. All right? The next section is our duration, and this is very unique. We can decide how long we want the duration of the notes to play. So let's bring in a half, an eighth, and a quarter. And you'll start to see these columns light up. And now we're starting to build a pattern, a random pattern. If we go back to our octaves. All right, so next we've got velocities. Now you'll notice up the top here, we've got these velocities. Let me just stop this for a moment. Up the top here, we've got 0, 1 to 10, 11 to 20, 21 to 30, 31 to 40. So these are velocities. And if you know anything about MIDI, and if you don't know, let me explain. So MIDI, the velocity is the pressure that you put on a keyboard that you're playing. So if you put very little pressure, you're putting 10. The hardest pressure, the hardest piano strike is 127. Right? So that's your velocity. So if I now say I'm going to bring up 81 to 90 in pressure, all the notes are going to be 100% 81 to 90 pressure. Hey, what's going on, Cem? So now you can hear they're all being played at the same velocity. But if I introduce a few others in here, you'll see we're getting varied hardness, varied velocity. Let's bring this down. Now this one's at 100 and let's take these right out. So we've still got lighter velocities going on here. Hi, Sai, good to see you. Now, the other interesting thing, let's go over to our gate now, and the same thing here. So the gating is done exactly the same way. 0 is going to be 0% 0 gate, and 100 is going to be let's put them up full on each one. Let's put one up here as well. So this determines how much gating, the randomness of your gating that is going to happen. We can go crazy and add these in. But I'm going to circle back. I will circle back here and go over the grouping because it's important to know about the grouping. So there's your gating. So if you don't know what a gate is, so a gate is like you can think about it like shutting the gate on the sound. The tighter the gate, the faster the sound cuts off, yeah? So next is our ratcheting. What is ratcheting? Now you would hear some notes that go brrrr. That's a ratchet. Let's add 4 ratchets at 100%. So you can now hear every note is playing 4 times. We can put in a 2 as well. And you can randomize all of this. Let's add in a 1 bar here as well. Give it a small chance of 1 bar playing. And we'll add in a small chance of a 1/64th. So as I'm playing around with this, you can hear it's changing, it's constantly evolving, and you're not getting the same thing twice. Hello, Feisty. All right, let's stop the sounds for a minute, and I want to cover grouping, because grouping affects only, what have we got? 1, 2, 3. Grouping only affects 3 of these selections. If we go up to note, octave, and duration, there's no grouping for these. Now you'll find grouping down here. Let's talk about these settings down in the bottom right-hand corner. If I want to clear all of this instantly, I can hit all, and it will bring everything back down to 0. If I want to make everything all 100, I can hit all. So you've got these 2 little buttons down here, all and 100. Now these cover note, octave, and duration. So they're a quick way to clear everything out. Just go over here, bring everything back down to 0. So now our note, let's do this with this one as well. All, come on mouse. So all, octave, and duration are all back to 0. And instantly we can hit 100 and bring them all up to 100 and then shape them from there. But there's also a draw section, and I can click the draw selection, come over here. Oh, did I turn off the wrong camera? Oh, sorry guys. I think I turned off the wrong camera. What a dickhead. Let's bring that camera back. Where are we? Overhead camera. Here we go. There we go. It's back. We'll give it a second to lighten up. 1 sec, guys. Jeez. Never change your settings live on a live stream, right? It's not a good idea. Not a good idea. Change your settings. There we go. That's better. Okay. So, yes. So you've got the little draw thing, and I can take my finger now and draw how I'd like these to be. Yeah? Whee. So that is with the draw, but you've got to remember to undo the draw, right? So you've got to have it selected to draw. If you have it off and do that, that's not going to work, right? It's going to stick to individual little sections there. So just a nice easy way to draw things in. So that these little, so all and draw, they are the only options you'll get for note, octave, and duration. Now, if we go to velocity, gate, and ratchet, you'll notice something different. We have this group section down here. And what Cem's done to try and make it more compact and give you a better experience on the screen is he's grouped everything in 10s, 20s, 30s, or 50s. So remember, these are velocities at the moment. So 0, 1 to 10, 11 to 20. You can ungroup this and look what happens. Now we have every single freaking velocity at your fingertips all the way up. And if you drag the bottom here, you can go all the way through and really fine tune individual velocities. So you can really fine tune this, get in here, swipe along the bottom, and there's your 0 to 127. I can go in here and mess about, and you can draw stuff in as well. So we can draw stuff in and scroll across. Get my scroll on. Oh, I've got draw selected. Remember to unselect draw when you're scrolling. So I can do this kind of stuff, right? Now, let's go back to grouping, because I like grouping them at 10s. It's just much neater, right? This affects the gate and the ratchet as well. So, those are the basic controls for creating complete and utter random chaos. Let's go in here and just do some more random chaos. We'll do some octaves here. Just scribbling stuff in. We'll get our durations. We'll take these out. What do we do? We'll take out this. All right, that looks good. Got our velocities. Let's hit play again. Let's take out some of these ratchets. We'll take out the 3, chance of the 3 and the... Now, we're at the halfway point of the show, and as usual, I'm going to pause this, and we have to run our ad because YouTube is ad-sponsored, and I try to take away the pain of you missing out on anything that happens, and I do run the ad. If you'd like to avoid the ad that happens halfway through the show, you can become a YouTube Premium subscriber, or we'll just wait here for you to come back and get over the ad. And while we're waiting, I'll do an ad for what's happening tomorrow, just like a cable television network would do. Tomorrow we have Wave Cloud by 4 Pockets we'll be taking a look at. So you don't want to miss this. It's just had a massive update. I waited to do the show because I knew a big update was coming. And this thing's wild. It's 4 Pockets. What do you freaking expect? So that is happening tomorrow on the show. Boom. It's come back over here. Hopefully people who got the ad are back. And now let's talk about the looper, because this makes this app very, very exciting. So our last section here is the looper. All right, we've got note, octave, duration of the note, velocity, the power of the note, the gate, how fast it's cut off, or does it play the entire note, the ratchet, does it have a brit or a bit or a dit or a dit. And finally here we have a looper. Now, this is very, very clever, Cem. Hello, Axiom. Cem, I love this. I was saying before you got here, I wish you would go back and now put the looper on all of your apps. I know that's a lot of work, but, or maybe just release the looper. The looper's cool. So, if I hit play now, we've got our notes auto-generating. And there's nothing happening here on this looper, nothing at all. But if I hit record and tap the little record button, watch what happens. It starts recording every single thing that's played here. And I can't remember the exact amount of notes it saves. Maybe Cem will remind me because my brain isn't perfect. But you can see it's recording everything in that's being played. And it goes on for a while. Is it 64? Or is it more than that? So we're still going, we're still going. Now, if I turn off the record, it will stop. Now it's not recording anything in there. It's still playing, right? So the notes are still playing what we're auto-generating, but the loop has stopped recording. If we hit record again, it's going to continue adding to this little pile of notes here. Let's stop it recording now. So I think it's 64. So once it gets to 64, it starts going back to the start. I'm pretty sure that's right. My brain doesn't work. So now at any time, I've stopped the recording. So it's constantly being recorded in the background until you turn this off. So now while these notes are playing, it's normal. If I hit play, look at this. It starts playing what we've recorded. And I can decide where this starts. We've got a start point. So if I move the start dial, I can move this along. And you'll notice as I change the start point, where the actual point of the loop is, moves forward with the start point. Watch. See? So it's around here. Now watch what happens. It actually, everything kind of shifts forward. And you can decide how many notes you want in. You can turn them back. So it is 64. I'm a douche. And you can cut these right back to just have this as your loop. So you might just like this part of the song, of your little piece you've made, and that's just on a constant loop. And then you could come in here, create a brand new MuseBud, send this to our piano as well. Now, what's happening? You may have noticed there all the notes sounded wrong because this new version of MuseBud is in a different scale, different key, different scale. So let's add down here a version of BrainBud, and we'll let BrainBud control all of these suckers. So here is BrainBud, and with BrainBud, you can send data to both of these MuseBuds, so they're all in the same scale. So let's send one there, send one there. And now in BrainBud, if I make this a, what do we have? An F. It was an F minor, wasn't it? Yes. So now, when we hit play, both of these are in the same key, same scale. Our loop is still running over here. And then we can come in here and start shaping this thing. I'm going to take out, I don't like these loud velocities. Let's keep the velocities kind of gentle. We've got no chance of arrest coming in there. Let's try and do as many low notes as we can for this. Shall we add a bit of reverb? And remember, we've got this loop playing in the first one. We can turn this off by unchecking play, bringing these notes back in. Pretty wild. Yeah, so it just takes, again, this has been taken to another level with the looper in there to give you the opportunity to, if you come up with something good, you can record it, record your random stuff, and you can hone in on that piece that you want. So just say I wanted here, this, and if you click on each individual note too, if you don't like this, you can click on a note and go in and edit it. You have the power. Look at this. You can go in and completely change everything, all the options you get on the side. So you can change it to whatever note you want. Click on it. I might want just something that totally doesn't fit the scale because that's me. You can change the octave. You can make it a little bit lower. We can change the duration to 1/8. Bring the velocity down a bit. We can add a bit of gate to it, and we can add a ratchet to that individual note. So now that little, you can go in here and edit each of these to your heart's content. So pretty nice little editing, and they're very easy too, like not complicated, nothing too that's going to melt your brain. But if I wanted to start this loop at that note, we can move it till it starts, and I can bring all this back and make my loop as long as I like. Oh, it's in scale? It's in the scale, all right. And look at that. We've created this dramatic right? But here's what gets even cooler. I love this little dramatic piece we've got here, just with these two notes just ratcheting away. I can now go down to our patterns and I can hit plus and add a new pattern and keep this loop here, right? So now this pattern number 2 has this crazy little 2-note loop, and then we can go back to number 1 and turn off the looper. All right, set this back to normal. So now while we're playing, at any time, I can click number 2 and go dramatic. You ready? And back to number 1. Let's give it some drama again. Let's add another note in. So you can create some pretty wild stuff. Hello, DJ. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Yeah, and as DJ said here, like a conductor, you can conduct some crazy, generative, weird stuff. Now remember, like all of Cem's apps, you'll see down the bottom we have this little, see here, the little patterns thing. So you can add heaps of patterns here. You can just keep adding pattern, 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 and change these up, and we'll add that. In pattern 4, we'll turn off, we'll take the start point here. So we'll turn off the looper for this one, yeah? So now when I bounce through these, you can see we'll change this one as well. We'll bring this one back like that. So as we go through our patterns, we've got all these different sections. If we go hit play again, we'll run through these patterns. And all of these patterns can be MIDI controlled by a CC10. So you can control this on your keyboard, on your MIDI keyboard. Pretty neat, yeah? Pretty neat. So also let's cover our settings. I haven't talked about the settings yet. Pretty standard affair over here. Nothing you're going to like. Your brain's going to explode. Hello, Pete Johns. What's happening? And Joe Glenn. She's just got back from Christmas shopping. Bar humbug. How's the purse feeling, Joe? A little bit lighter? Boo. All right. So here, this is where you can choose. If you'd like to set your MIDI CC for the patterns, to control the patterns to another number, you can do that. You can set it to, but it's all Cem's apps are set to 10. Mateusz, what's going on? For those of you who've been pronouncing my friend Mateusz's name wrong, it's Mateusz, okay? Are we settled? Let's do this now. It's Mateusz. Did you hear me? It's Mateusz, all right? It's Mateusz. Mateusz. I'm glad we settled that. Ron Ward calls him Mateusz. Sounds like a fucking cheap cocktail. Anyway, I'm getting off track. We got to get this finished so I can get out of here for the day. So you can change the MIDI CC patterns, the CC controller to whatever you like. Yeah. You've also got a MIDI channel in, and you've got a MIDI channel out. You can sort this out whatever you want, so you can send MIDI to specific channels. Right, so I could have multiple instruments open, and I could send it to the MIDI to a specific MIDI channel. Right, pretty standard affair that you would find in here. Here's where you change your scale, your key, and you can mess around with the knobs. And here's where you get a nice little tutorial. And Cem puts these in all of his apps. Now I'm running the beta today, just so you know. I have the version that's out. But I just saw Cem dropped a beta update, so I thought I'd make sure I've got the latest thing. Oh, there's Mr. Smith. There we go, done. Mr. Smith is covered with a big tongue. So, yeah, with the tutorial, they're in every one of Cem's apps. So if you ever get lost, you don't understand what Cem's trying to do, go into the settings, hit tutorial, and look at this. It gives you a full walkthrough, and each time you just click on the bubble and it moves to the next thing. Very, no frills, straight to the point, gives you a good understanding, doesn't treat you like an idiot, doesn't treat you like you need a science degree, and you'll understand what's going on. Put it this way. I had no idea how to use this app. I watched this tutorial once and worked it out very quickly. So you will be able to do the same thing. You know why? Because you are just as, if not more cleverer than me. And that's the tutorial done. I am Polish. I am Polish, Mateusz. Just be aware too, when you open the tutorial, if you're in an AUV3, it will open the standalone version. Right? See, it opened the standalone version. I've got it running here. See, there it is. So I can close that out. But this is an AUV3. It works perfectly in all of your doors and stuff like that. So don't panic. Don't get all freaky. And if you have a problem, if you find a bug, see this bit down here, feedback. Just go here and send an email to my good friend Cem and let him know that you found a bug. Take a screenshot. Right? And send it to him. Don't go onto the App Store and leave a shitty review. It's not good. It's not the thing to do. So, in conclusion, let's make something really quickly because today's featured artist goes for about 7 minutes. So I'm going to start again and let you guys watch me make something from scratch just to show you how easy it can be done. And I'm not going to be too slow. You've got the understanding, hopefully, of how the randomization works. Just mess around. Have a good time. If you're not having a good time making music, stop making music for a bit. Go do something else. You know what I'm saying? Right. We're going to start off by adding in our little MIDI. So what we've done here, we've got a little MIDI channel. We've got 4 audio channels. We're going to Oj. I'm going to put in a brain bud to kick off because I like the brain bud. Then we're going to add... We're going to add over here a Muse Bud. And I'm going to copy this. I'm going to hit select. And then I'm going to double tap, copy, double tap, copy, Double tap, copy. And now we got 4 of these. And now I'm going to go into BrainBud and send BrainBud to all 4 of these so it controls the one. Should we do a random key and a random scale? Look at that. We've got an E Lydian good times. Yay. Let's just add some random instruments. We'll add a piano because it's always nice to add a piano. I'm going to try and add that guitar thing back in. I have to take. So again, look what I have to do because of this bug. I have to lift the iPad off the Magic Keyboard because there's a fucking bug. Fretless guitar. Wait till it loads and then put it back on the MIDI fucking Magic Keyboard. Should we add some drums just for fun? Why not? And what else? Let's find a random. We had Mariana before. What about a King of Digital? Do a King of Digital? There we go. So we've got 4 instruments, and I'm going to send each one of these to an individual instrument. This one can go to the fretless guitar. This one can go to hammerhead. I don't know how that's going to go. I think we should be able to get some drum sounds. And King of Digital. Let's just hit play, see what happens. All right. Wicked. Let's go in here and mess with some of these things. I'm going to go and change the notes, the ratcheting. We'll change the notes a little bit. We'll come back to the drums. Woohoo! Fuck, I love this shit. I'm going to bring the octaves for the drums, because normally the drums are on a lower octave. Now we got some ratcheting on the drums. Let's find a good sound in here. Here we go. I want to go into this last one and change out the it's mental jazz. Have I melted all your brains now? Let's change the key. All right. The thing is that you can create some really wonderful stuff. As you saw just by going through the tutorial, it's totally up to you where you want to go, right? I wouldn't suggest just doing what I did then and just throwing everything at there at once. Take your time, build something up. That's how I made today's project that we opened up with. Again, let's go back to today's project. And this is a similar setup I have here. Of course, the guitar thing's not going to load until I take the iPad off. And we got this today. So if you take your time and build up each of these buds, these Muse Buds, you can create something really nice. If I go to my brain bud here and change patterns, let's change the key and scale. All right. So, if you haven't seen any of other Cem's apps, if you're new to Cem's stuff, I've pretty much covered nearly every app he's done. I really should make a Cem Olcay playlist because they're all fantastic. They all do very unique and interesting things. So I suggest you go investigate a little bit more. But this is just another one to the collection. Each time he releases one, I think, what can he do next? How much further can you take it? And he always comes up with the goods. So $5 will get you this, $4.99 US dollary dues. And you too can play around with this. Brain Buds, if you got any of Cem's apps, Brain Bud is a must. It's a must. It is the brains. You can control everything via one of them, you know. It's really fantastic. Okay, that has been the show today. As I said, tomorrow we have coming up on the show 4Pockets brand new Wave Cloud. There you go. That's coming up tomorrow. The day after, we're taking a look at this fancy schmancy little thing called Mic Swap Pro 2, where you can take any microphone and turn it into another microphone. So if you can't afford an SM7B, guess what? You can very closely turn your microphone into an SM7B for podcasting or whatever you like. So we'll take a look at this the day after. And then we have a Christmas special, folks. This week's interview, it's big. In fact, I was going to say it's bigger than Jesus, but it's not really, because we have Jesus coming on the show this week. Jesus Avoid from the amazing band Development of Avoid. Yes, his name is Jesus. 2 days before Christmas, and I've got Jesus on the show. I told you I get all the big guests. Doesn't get any better than Jesus. Right, so that's going to be a rad interview. And then on Friday, we are taking a look at the new the new Cubasis sound packs. And Walk With Me episode 3, season 2 is happening. Always a pleasure, Cem, and Cem may send me some codes for Patreons if I'm a good bitch. Maybe, sorta. I'll put it out there. He might do so you might be lucky, patrons. All right, this app is rad. Go get it. Go have some fun, make some crazy stuff. Be adventurous. Don't be like today's music. Too much of today's music is homogenized, soulless, no danger involved. It's just constricted bullshit, yeah? Walk on the edge, try something new, step outside your box, be unique. You know, don't force it, just try something new today. Do that today, try something bloody new, yeah? You'll be glad you did. All right, today's featured artist is somebody we had on the show who is amazing. She is Scars and Shadows, and she just dropped a brand new song, so we will play this now and get out of here. I want to thank you all here in the chat for hanging out. Hit the like on the way out, it does help the channel. If you're watching on the replay, thank you. I hope you stuck around, and we just crossed over 3,500 subscribers, so thank you all for your constant support. It really is heartwarming. Do the things that make you happy. Mistakes make you better, and we'll all rise together. This is Scars and Shadows, her brand new song, Damp in My Soul. Pete Johns is coming up in about an hour's time, and we'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.
It would be impossible to sum up 20.
I'd like to get a dick inside